Okay, guys, here's what we're going to do today is we're going to use my character from World of Warcraft, Zaz, say hi Zaz, to illustrate the intermediate value theorem. So here's what the intermediate value theorem says. It says, if f is continuous on the closed interval from a to b, and k is any number between f of a and f of b, then there is at least one number c in a and b such that f of c equals k. So that's kind of a lot. So let's talk about what it really means. So here's what Zaz is going to do. Zaz is going to cross the road. So you can see the road behind him. He's going to cross it. Right now, right now he's about 5 meters away from us. So if we talk about us being the camera, he's about 5 meters away from us. And to cross the road, he's got to travel, let's say, about 20 meters. And the road is somewhere in between, so let's say about maybe 10 meters. And we're going to see how long it takes him. So let's do that first. So let's first just have him cross the road. Rather slowly, if at all possible. Okay, so Zaz has crossed the road. Fantastic. So the question is, and it took him notice, whoops, I'm going to stop it here. Didn't mean to keep the clock running. So it took him, let's say, 23 seconds. Or within the, from time 0 to time 23, he ended up crossing. So if we call the side of the road that he was on, where the zebra is right now, if we call that the south side, and the side that he's on right now, the north side, how do we know that during that 23 seconds, he actually crossed the road? We know that at one time he was on the south side and another time he was on the north side, but how do we know that he actually touched the road? So let's talk about how we know he did it, because that's what the intermediate value theorem talks about. So here's how we know. So we establish, in order to use the intermediate value theorem, in order to use the intermediate value theorem, we need to establish two things. One, we have to establish that the value that we're looking for lies in between the two values that we examined. So here's what I mean. I'm going to say, we're going to use A, B to represent. A is going to be the starting time, so time 0. B is going to represent the ending time, so time 23. F of A is going to be his starting place where he started before he started moving, so the original 5 meters. And then the ending F of B will be when he's on the other side of the road. K is going to be the distance from the camera to the actual road itself. So here's what we establish. We say, well, listen, at time 0, so at time F of A, he was on the south side of the road. At time 23, so at time F of B, he was on the north side of the road. So we know that K lies in between time 0, so F of A and F of B. And that occurred, F of A and F of B, he got from F of A to F of B in 23 seconds. So what the intermediate value theorem is trying to do is trying to establish that since K is in between, there must be a time C where F of C equals K. In other words, that the time that if you look at that time, his distance was exactly that K value. So in order to do that, we have to establish two things. One, we've already established that K is in between F of A and F of B. The other thing we need to establish is that the function that we're dealing with is continuous, because obviously this doesn't work if he teleported from one side to the other. Since he walked from the south side to the north side, we know for a fact that that represents a continuous function. He doesn't teleport, he just smoothly walks from one end to the other. So the function is continuous. And because the function is continuous, and because during the time interval he went from south side to north side, there must exist, by the intermediate value theorem, there must exist a C, a time C, where f of c equals k, where f of c, so that equals the f of c equals that k value, or the distance to the road, and that had to happen at some time in that 23 seconds. So in the next video, we're going to specifically talk about, show mathematically how to prove that, or how to, I guess, explain it using the intermediate value theorem. So anyway, I will see you guys later. Or, really?
You messed up at the end.
Okay, well, I guess this is why you don't do this on a PvP server. Anyway, I will see you guys in a little bit.